There is a moment before every great change, before every breakthrough, every transformation, where fear creeps in. It whispers in your ear, telling you to stay where it's safe, to hold on to what's familiar, to resist the unknown. It makes you believe that stepping forward is dangerous, that uncertainty is something to be avoided. But what if fear is wrong? What if everything you've ever wanted, every dream, every goal, every opportunity exists just beyond that hesitation? Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from taking a chance because of fear? How many moments have passed where you could have acted, but instead you waited? Fear is the greatest thief of time. It convinces you that tomorrow is a guarantee, that someday you'll feel ready, but someday is not promised, and readiness is a myth. The truth is, the only way to move forward is to let go of fear, to step into the unknown, to trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes next. So, ask yourself, are you going to let fear decide your future? Or will you take control and step into it with courage? Because your next chapter is waiting, and it's time to begin. The illusion of control is one of the greatest causes of fear. We live under the belief that if we plan carefully, act wisely, and prepare for every possibility, we can shape life exactly as we want it. But deep down, we know this isn't true. No matter how much effort we put into controlling the future, there will always be unexpected turns, unforeseen events, and moments where everything we built is shaken to its core. This realization is what makes us afraid of what's next. We fear the unknown because we cannot manipulate it to fit our expectations. From an early age, we are taught to set goals, create structure, and follow paths that seem secure. Society praises certainty and predictability. We are told to choose a stable career, plan for retirement, and make decisions that guarantee safety. But the truth is, safety is often an illusion. People who followed all the rules still lose their jobs. Relationships change despite the best intentions, and life shifts in ways we never saw coming. The reality of existence is unpredictability, and the more we try to resist it, the more anxious and fearful we become. Control is a comforting thought, but it's not a reality. We don't control the economy, the weather, or the actions of other people. We don't control when opportunities will come or when challenges will strike. What we do control is how we respond. Yet, instead of focusing on that, we exhaust ourselves trying to control everything else. We replay conversations in our heads, trying to perfect things that have already happened. We overanalyze situations, convincing ourselves that if we think hard enough, we can prevent disaster. But this obsession with control doesn't prevent hardship. It only creates stress. When something unexpected happens, fear takes over because it shatters the belief that we are in charge. A job loss, a breakup, an illness, or even a minor disruption can feel devastating because it reminds us that life is not within our grip. But what if, instead of fearing this truth, we accepted it? What if we saw unpredictability as a force not to be feared, but to be embraced? The most liberating realization in life is understanding that control was never ours to begin with. When we release the need to manipulate every outcome, we open ourselves to something far greater: adaptability. The strongest people in history were not those who avoided hardship, but those who learned to dance with the unknown. They didn't waste time resisting change, they moved with it. They adjusted, they grew, and they discovered new paths they never could have planned for. Fear feeds on the idea that losing control is dangerous. But the truth is, losing control is often the very thing that leads us to where we're meant to be. Life isn't asking us to control it, it's asking us to trust it. The more we let go, the more space we create for something extraordinary to unfold. Your past is a lesson, not a prison. Too often, people carry their past like a heavy weight, believing that what has already happened defines what will come next. They allow past failures, mistakes, and disappointments to dictate their future, as if they are trapped in a story that cannot change. But the past is not meant to hold you hostage. It is meant to teach, to sharpen, to prepare. It is a place of reference, not a place of residence. No matter what has happened before, you are not bound to repeat it, unless you choose to. Every failure, every setback, every painful moment has given you something: wisdom, resilience, a new perspective. But instead of seeing these moments as stepping stones, many people turn them into walls. They build barriers with their regrets, believing they are incapable of moving beyond them. I've failed before, so I'll fail again. I've been hurt before, so I can't trust again. I tried once and it didn't work, so why should I bother? These thoughts are chains, keeping you locked in a cycle that exists only in your mind. The truth is, your past has no power over you unless you continue to give it power. People often confuse learning from the past with living in it. They replay old mistakes in their minds, reliving the pain as if doing so will somehow change the outcome. But no amount of regret can rewrite history. What has happened, and no force in the world can undo it. The only thing you can control is what you do with it. You can either let it consume you, or you can use it as fuel to move forward. Think of the most successful people in the world. They are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who refused to let failure define them. They are the ones who took their missteps and used them as stepping stones towards something greater. The most powerful transformations come from those who understand that pain is temporary, but the lessons it leaves behind are permanent. The only way the past can harm you is if you let it stop you from living in the present. The problem is that people often see their past as proof of who they are, rather than proof of who they were. If you have made mistakes, that does not mean you are destined to make them forever. If you have failed, that does not mean success is out of reach. Growth is a process, and no journey is free of detours. The key is to understand that the past is part of your story, but it is not the final chapter. You are not the person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even yesterday. You are constantly evolving, constantly becoming something new. The only way to move forward is to stop looking backward. The past is a lesson, nothing more, nothing less. Uncertainty is the gateway to growth. People fear the unknown because it strips away the comfort of familiarity. They cling to routines, predictable outcomes, and carefully crafted plans, believing that stability equals security. But true growth never comes from staying in the same place. It comes from stepping into the uncertain, the uncharted, the uncomfortable. The unknown is not something to be avoided. It is where transformation happens. Every major breakthrough, every moment of personal evolution begins with uncertainty. When you step into a new challenge, take on a new opportunity, or make a life-changing decision, there is always doubt. The mind craves certainty, but certainty leaves no room for discovery. If you always knew the outcome, if every step was clear before you took it, there would be no room to expand, to push beyond limits, to uncover what you are truly capable of. Growth demands that you stand in the middle of uncertainty and keep moving forward despite the fear. Most people resist the unknown because it feels like a loss of control. They want guarantees before they take risks. They want proof before they believe in themselves. They want reassurance that everything will work out exactly as they envision. But life does not work that way. The most incredible opportunities often come disguised as uncertainty. The greatest successes often begin with doubt. The path to transformation is not paved with perfect plans. It is carved through courage in the face of the unknown. Think of the moments in your life when you truly changed. They were never the moments when everything was predictable and easy. They were the moments when you took a leap despite not knowing where you would land. They were the moments when you made decisions that scared you, when you stepped into a new experience without a guarantee. Growth is not a comfortable process. It stretches you, challenges you, forces you to confront fears you didn't even know you had. But without that process, you remain the same. You stay in a cycle of what is familiar, and in doing so, you deny yourself the chance to become something more. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It is your invitation. It is life calling you forward, urging you to step into a version of yourself that you have not yet met. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who waited until they were ready. They are the ones who acted despite uncertainty. They are the ones who trusted that growth comes from movement, not from waiting for clarity. The unknown is where your greatest potential lives. It is where you find strength you never knew you had, courage you never thought you possessed, and opportunities you never imagined possible. Fear wants you to believe that uncertainty is dangerous, but the truth is, the only real danger is staying where you are. Growth requires you to walk forward without all the answers, to trust the process, and to embrace the unknown as the very thing that will shape you into who you are meant to be. You are stronger than you think. It's easy to forget that when life hits hard, when challenges pile up, when setbacks make you question yourself, when the weight of everything feels too heavy to carry. Your mind tells you that you are not enough. It convinces you that you can't handle what's ahead, that you are too weak, too broken, too lost to keep going. But that is a lie. Look back at your life. Every difficult moment, every heartbreak, every obstacle that once felt impossible, you made it through. You survived the days you thought would destroy you. You got up when you had every reason to stay down. You pushed forward when everything inside you screamed to quit. And yet, despite all of it, you are here. That is proof of your strength. The mind has a way of underestimating resilience. It magnifies fear, amplifies doubt, and makes you believe that you won't be able to withstand what's coming next. But the truth is, you have always been stronger than your struggles. You have faced storms before, and each time you have come out the other side. Maybe not unscathed, maybe not unchanged, but stronger. Strength is not about never falling, it is about rising every time you do. Think of the moments when you felt weak, when you thought you had nothing left to give, and yet you kept going. Even if you stumbled, even if you crawled, you moved forward. That is strength. It's not about never feeling afraid or never doubting yourself. It's about showing up anyway. It's about continuing to fight even when the battle seems endless. Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your path, unexpected losses, moments of failure, and each time you will have a choice. You can believe the voice in your head that tells you that you can't do it, or you can remember who you are. You can remind yourself that every hardship you have faced has prepared you for this moment. You can choose to trust in your own resilience. Strength is not something you are born with, it is something you build. It is forged in the moments when you refuse to give up, when you stand tall in the face of adversity, when you take another step forward even when it hurts. The strongest people are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who struggle and keep going. They are the ones who understand that pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. You have been through so much already, and yet you are still here. That means you have more in you than you realize. That means you have the power to face whatever comes next. The mind will try to convince you that you are weak, but reality tells a different story. You have faced darkness before, and you have walked through it, and no matter what lies ahead, you have the strength to do it again. Let go of fear and embrace possibility. Fear is a cage, one that keeps you trapped in hesitation, doubt, and missed opportunities. It whispers all the reasons why you shouldn't take a chance, why you should stay where you are, why stepping into the unknown is too risky. It convinces you that failure is worse than never trying, that rejection is worse than staying unseen, that uncertainty is something to be avoided at all costs. And because of this, so many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect certainty that everything will work out. But that moment never comes. Fear is persuasive. It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as responsibility. It tells you to play it safe, to stick with what you know, to avoid anything that might lead to discomfort or failure. But the truth is, the greatest rewards in life come from stepping beyond fear. Every dream, every goal, every extraordinary achievement begins with a person who decided to move forward despite their doubts. Possibility does not live within comfort zones. It lives in the moments when you take a risk, when you bet on yourself, When you choose to believe that something greater is waiting for you. When you let go of fear, you make space for something new. Fear takes up room in the mind, in the heart, in the decisions we make. It causes hesitation when we should take action. It makes us second guess ourselves when we should trust our instincts. It keeps us in jobs we hate, relationships that no longer serve us, and routines that drain us, because it convinces us that change is dangerous. But what if, instead of fearing change, you embraced it? What if you saw uncertainty not as a threat, but as an open door? Think of every time you've taken a chance in life. Maybe it was a small risk, maybe a big one. Maybe it was speaking up when it was easier to stay silent. Maybe it was walking away from something that no longer fulfilled you. Maybe it was chasing a dream when everyone around you told you to be realistic. In those moments, fear was present, but so was possibility. And when you chose to move forward, you proved to yourself that fear does not have to win. Letting go of fear does not mean never feeling afraid. It means choosing not to let fear control you. It means recognizing that fear will always be there, but so will the opportunity to rise above it. The difference between those who live fully and those who stay stuck is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to act despite it. Possibility is always within reach. It exists in every decision, every new path, every moment you choose to trust yourself instead of your doubts. The world is not waiting for you to be fearless. It is waiting for you to be brave enough to embrace what could be. Time is passing, and every moment you spend hesitating is a moment you will never get back. People often live as if they have all the time in the world, as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if they can afford to wait until they feel ready. But time does not wait. It moves forward, with or without your permission. And one day you will look back and realize that the opportunities you once had are gone, that the dreams you postponed were never pursued, that the life you wanted was within reach, but fear, doubt, and hesitation kept you from grasping it. Too many people live in the future, always telling themselves that they will start someday. Someday they will take that risk. Someday they will chase that dream. Someday they will finally do the things they have always wanted to do. But someday is an illusion. It's a comfortable lie that keeps people stuck. The reality is that life is happening right now. There is no perfect time, no ideal moment when everything will align just right. If you keep waiting for that moment, you will wait forever. The truth is, you don't have forever. No one does. And yet people act as if they do. They waste time on things that don't matter. They stay in situations that make them unhappy. They allow fear to keep them from pursuing what they truly want. But time is the one thing you can never get back. Money can be earned again. Opportunities can sometimes return in different forms. But time, once it is gone, it is gone. And the most painful realization is not that time has passed. It is realizing that you never truly lived. Think about what you would do if you knew your time was limited, because it is. Would you keep waiting? Would you keep playing it safe? Or would you finally take action? Would you stop making excuses and start doing the things you've always talked about? The truth is, every day is a chance to begin. Every day is an opportunity to move forward, to create, to grow, to experience the fullness of life, but only if you choose to take it. Many people realize too late that they spent their lives in hesitation instead of action. They look back with regret, not because they failed, but because they never tried. They never said what they needed to say. They never pursued what set their soul on fire. They never lived the way they truly wanted to. But you don't have to be one of those people. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can keep putting things off, keep telling yourself that you have time, keep waiting for the perfect moment, or you can decide that now is the time. Because if you want to live fully, if you want to experience everything life has to offer, you must stop hesitating and start living. Life is always moving forward, whether we are ready or not. Fear of the unknown, attachment to the past, resistance to uncertainty, and hesitation in the face of opportunity. All of these hold us back from the life we are meant to live. But the truth is, control is an illusion. And the only way to truly grow is to embrace change, to trust in your own strength, and to step into the unknown with courage. You have already overcome so much. You are not bound by your past, nor are you limited by fear. The future is not something to be afraid of, it is something to step into with confidence, knowing that you are capable of handling whatever comes next. Time will not wait, and neither should you. Every moment you spend doubting yourself is a moment lost. Every opportunity you let slip away is a chance you will never get back. The greatest rewards in life come from taking risks, from believing in yourself even when fear tries to convince you otherwise. Let go of hesitation. Step beyond your doubts and trust that you are strong enough, resilient enough, and brave enough to walk forward. You are not meant to live a life of regrets. You are meant to live fully, to embrace possibility, and to make the most of every second you are given. Good luck on your journey ahead. Whatever comes next, face it with strength, with courage, and with the belief that you are ready. The future belongs to those who step into it boldly. And no matter where life takes you, remember, don't fear what's next. Embrace it. Thank you.